Hello, guys. Welcome to another review of WWE programming. This is the review for WWE Raw 20th, actually, of April 2026. 420. I say that, of course, correct there because it is the 21st for me now. It's not going to be a long review, it's going to be a recap video. I did reviews of both nights of WrestleMania, and I think this is actually the latest it's finished because we're back to 1 a.m. my time, start time. It is 3:45 in the morning, so I'm not going to talk too long in terms of review the matches and break them down, etc. We do a recap, maybe an hour or so. I thought this was a really good show. Yeah, fair play. Out of nowhere, have they ever done two good shows in a row this year? I feel like it's been quite a while since we got that. Okay, WrestleMania Night 2 was leagues better than Night 1. I think night one was so bad that it made night two feel better than it was. I wouldn't say it was great, but it was still good. It felt like Mania. Like I didn't feel shortchanged watching it, like I did in night one. Good God! But this is the best Raw after Mania in quite a while. Really, really happy with tonight's show. There's some new avenues opened up, and what you want to see from a Raw after Mania is new faces, especially from NXT getting called up. Why did we get that tonight? Absolutely fucking delighted to see Ethan Page finally on the main roster again. I say again. Of course, he was in AEW's main roster, but he is now on the main roster. He's on Monday Night Raw, and I didn't know whether this was officially a number one contender match for the IC title, but he's definitely going straight in there. He's in that picture. Man, Ethan Page versus Penta. Sign me the fuck up. Ethan's great. Good to see him. Ruca also got called up. She is now on Monday Night Raw. Been saying a while. I think SmackDown needs a more. A lot of people have, but it was only I saw a tweet during the break in the show after she'd been called up that someone made a really good point. I realised, well, her boyfriend, her real life boyfriend, I think she's dating Bates or Dunn, one of them. They're on Raw, so it makes sense. They put the couples on the same shows, yeah, Seth and Becky. If Lola ever gets called up, she'll go to SmackDown with Priest. Because you barely see each other if you're on other rosters, unless like the big events, the PLEs or what have you. Speaking of both rosters, the show, of course, was still in Vegas, a different arena, T-Mobile Arena, I think it was. Probably about 14,000 there. Crowd was decent all night, better than the fucking Mania crowd, I think. There wasn't even an open air stadium at Mania as well. As well as the debuts, we had an unexpected return. I was so happy to see it because, good God, the Raw's tag division needs them. The Street Profits returned, went after the division. It looks like that is going to be their next tag match. Let's go. Thankful. Bro, during that segment, I was just thinking, I swear to fucking God, if LA Knight comes out, it seems like he's finally out of the division vortex. Thank fuck for that. Good God. I bet this is a really, really good show. Shit all over Mania Night 1. And honestly, I'll put this in part with Mania Night 2. Very good. The show began with Obafemi, the ruler. Badass entrance, as always. I think is the problem with daytime stadiums with this Mania event. So I don't know if I said this in my review, is it takes away from his entrance a bit. A lot of the appeal, the aura, the allure is green strobe lights and seeing a silhouette in the smoke. Well, we got that tonight. He comes out, he's wearing a suit of Joba. Didn't have to say much. He came out, my God, this guy's so over. And for good reason. Oprah's an absolute beast. He is the new beast after he slayed the old beast. Just deafening. Oba. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I kind of hate that in his entrance. I don't think he did it tonight. He does it when it's matches. The crowd get the picture on the main roster. I was always concerned they wouldn't, but clearly a lot of these NXT goats that keep coming up, they're getting over. Ethan Page got a great ovation. So Ruca got a great ovation. The same with Trick Willie. Look how quickly he got over. Look how quickly Javon's got over. Look how quickly Over's got over. You're always a little concerned. Oh, are they going to know the chants? Are they going to know when to sing along? Blah, blah, blah. The one thing they don't do is when he's coming down, he's doing his strut, and then he does the pose. There's a part of the music where everyone goes, "Wah!" In NXT. They don't do that. It's a bit of a shame. I hope that gets added. The crowd starts picking up on it. He comes out, big chance of over. He's got a mic. All he said was, "The ruler has arrived." Drop the mic. Silhouette, he does his pose. Not properly, he doesn't crouch down, go forward. He just raises it up like that. And what a shot, man. It's true. You know, when I'm doing the reviews, I didn't see, I did it straight after Mania, so I didn't see the post match shows. Apparently on the Night 2 post show, he called out Roman Reigns. Not immediately. He said, and maybe this is an indication of what creatives told him. Sure, they've given him a brief outline of, the long term vision for you. He said, oh, by the end of the year, Roman Reigns, I'm coming after you. So what could that mean? The last huge PLE of the year is War Games, Survivor Series. Could we have Roman Survivor Series if Roman's still champ? We had another indicator tonight, possibly, of what could be Mania's a Mania main event next year. The one big match of guys that have been there quite a while now that we've not seen is Cody versus Punk. Rumor has it this was the plan all along, and the plans kind of got fucked over, which I could see. Seth Rollins' injury really screwed a lot. Apparently, the original plan was at one point Rollins versus Reigns. Rollins would have kept the championship from SummerSlam when he cashed in and Punk all the way through to Mania, and then Roman, I'm sure, would have won anyway. Roman would have won the Rumble anyway, I think. Because I expect CM Punk would have won the Chamber in Chicago. In the end, they went for Randy Orton. But it makes sense, Punk in his home crowd wins that and takes on Cody. I think Punk would have won the World Championship there. In a lot of sense, I kind of wish that would have happened. Punk had a good World Championship reign, but Cody, when he actually won it, Punk, he won it on a Saturday night to main event in a shit match against Jey, so it felt a little underwhelming. Him versus Cody, if he dethroned him there, Vegas, can you imagine? That would have been banger. I guess Punk probably would have been on the night 1 main event then, though, not night 2, so maybe he got it better. They had a segment tonight. What I think should happen if this is going to be Cody and Punk, however they get there, whether they crown him before then or not, whether even if he goes into the main event next year, which I've made night 2, and is unsuccessful, Obafemi needs to be in the main event next year. I don't give a fuck. I can already see it. It's in Saudi Arabia. The Saudis are going to throw money at it. I mean, Oba's over there, to be fair, but I could see them wanting some dumb shit. They throw the money. You know what they're like. The Brothers of Destruction took on DX. Kane and Taker versus Michaels and Triple H in an absolute fucking dead fish of a match 2018 that was just so awful because they were so over the hill, these guys. But the Saudis wanted it. They're such fair weather fans that they probably only started getting their fucking feed about 15, 20 years ago, mostly living off past glories, and they want these big marquee names to say, we saw this live. They had Goldberg versus Taker when that shouldn't have happened. Both of them couldn't go anymore. It's been a recurring pattern. So I fear that next year, Mania, they'll have something like The Rock come out. They'll throw a bunch of money at him to take on Roman. No, Obafemi needs to be in the main event next year. Whatever happens, however way they want to go about it, goes in as champ. He doesn't. I would have him win the Rumble next year and go to Mania. I'll give the time to build the feud. So it was great in the night as well. We'll get to that Punk. I guess I'll cover it now. I don't have to necessarily go. I'm doing a recap. We had a match before then, which I'll get to afterwards. But Punk comes out. He's thanking. He's paying tribute to a lot of the friends he lost that he'd pay tribute to at Mania Night 2. And the fucking dumbass Vegas crowd. Like, what? Are you fucking serious? I don't hate the War chant as much as a lot of people seem to do, but good God, it is overdone. I've never ever seen a worse application of this chant. It's fucking retards in the crowd. He didn't let it get to him. He just carried on paying tribute. He Cody comes out. My God, man, this man has a fucking shiner. It's like ridiculous. Looks like he barely massive black eye on his left eye, I think. Or I guess they're gonna sell it. I don't know when he got that. Are they maybe gonna sell it as that he got that from the Punk kick? Maybe he actually did. I don't know. Of course, Randy punted him. I don't know if I'd have had him on the show. Maybe it's more impactful if you have him out of action for like a week or two. It stalls the program with him and Randy. They're obviously going to run it back at Backlash, you would expect. Or maybe even wait till Clash at Turin, which is late May, I believe. But yeah, I don't know. Randy didn't do the Punk kick for like 8, 9 years, was it? And this dude, I saw a clip as well. This is the one after my night one review, actually, and I forgot to mention it on night two. I cannot. The post show, one of the first things they do is cut to Jackie Rowe, who stood near the entranceway, that fucking long ass ramp they had in Mania. And you see Cody Rhodes in the background, just walking. It was a bit after, it was about 5, 10 minutes after he'd been Punk kicked, to be fair. But he's walking unassisted, kind of head down. He's got the title, just staggering a little, but he's walking up the ramp. You've just been Punk kicked. The fuck is this? They should have stretching him off and everything. Like, so that was a bit weird. But you know what WWE are like? They were in Vegas still, a lot of the talent. The vast majority, most people who went on Raw tonight, they would have gone flown off wherever. SmackDown people will go home and then get ready to go wherever SmackDown's this week. But they have to have the two champions on. Rhea Ripley was on Raw tonight, and Cody comes on. It was a little. They played with comedy a little in this segment. Cody's basically the whole line was, Cody a little surprised that Punk wasn't a bit angry, couldn't a bit more fire. Because he's kind of playing nice, playing respectful. He's like, I'm appreciative. You know what? I did lose, but at the end of the day, like we put on a great show together. I'm proud of how I quit myself, blah, blah, blah. He's saying to Cody, just say what you're thinking. I know why you're down here. You're kind of, what were you expecting? A bit of fire, a bit of bitterness, a bit of anger from me. I am a loser. I did lose the other day, but, I'm proud of my spot. And Cody was like, well, a bit, yeah. I'm a bit surprised. But Cody's like, oh, listen, I'm the one here with the shiner. If anyone's a loser, I'm not comparing who's the bigger loser. Cody's got his fucking belt around us. I was a little confused at this. But the segment was fine. The crowd were on it. They were laughing at parts. Like I said, there was a tinge of humour here or there. It was all a load of smoke, a load of nothing really until the end. And then Punk had said just before Cody comes out, yeah, well, you never know when a title opportunity may drop from the sky. I always wonder if that's a foreshadowing of, is he going to win Money in the Bank? Which is after SummerSlam this year, which I kind of don't like as a decision, but I can also understand it. King of the Ring is used as a vehicle to get someone a SummerSlam title match. So Money in the Bank being after it, fair enough. I can see Money in the Bank definitely being cashed in on next year's Mania. The Saudis want the big moment. Or maybe even at War Games or something like that. I hope they don't even do fucking War Games anymore. Shit. But I don't know. Am I looking too much into that? Watch your space. I want a title opportunity to fall from the sky. He said, maybe we'll get it sooner. As Cody's talking, Punk right at the end, eyed his belt, got a bit close to him. He said, well, yeah, you never know what championship I might go for next, basically. Punk leaves the ring. Cody, you can see shots on Punk. See Cody in the background. He just goes, Punk. What did he say? Punk, whenever you're ready, basically. Let me know whenever. We'll go whenever, wherever. I sound like Shakira. Whenever, wherever. I think this was foreshadowing. I think this will be the Mania main event next year. It makes sense. If this was part of the original plan for this year, then I'll just push it back. Whatever. And who the fuck will complain, man? See for it. Cody, heel turn, maybe, eventually, for that. They're obviously not going to do it in the coming program because there's more Cody Randy stuff. They just basically course corrected the whole fucking Pat McAfee bullshit that Ari Emanuel insisted upon at Mania. And it felt like, and this is what really disappointed me of the name Mania feud between Cody and Randy and the entire night main event. It just felt like a stepping stone to, okay, let's do the real feud now. Now we've not got TKO interrupting and interfering and putting their fucking bullshit in there. For the third year in a row on Cody, by the way. Poor bastard. Good God. This guy, that he's been shafted. Now we can get to the real Cody Randy stuff. I can see that going on for months. Honestly. Maybe even go through SummerSlam. What does Punk do in the meantime? I don't know. We'll see. Before that segment, we had Io Sky's music play, and then Rhea Ripley followed. They were in tag action against the Kabuki Warriors. Bro, this was so unnecessary. It was just a way to get Rhea on the card. I'd rather they just got her on the card doing a backstage segment for Io or something. The reason why I say it's unnecessary, why the fuck? Oh, to be a Kabuki Warriors fan. They take defeat after defeat after defeat. They're just fucking jobbers, man. Good God. And I cannot believe Asuka did actually get a win over Rhea, believe it or not. Triple H's fucking favourite. Rhea's great, but it is getting ridiculous. She's everywhere. She can never lose. This was a rare occasion. Asuka did actually beat her towards the end of last year, but the Kabuki Warriors booking since they won the tag championships has just been horrific. Kyrie especially always takes a pin. Poor Kyrie. She beat Io last week, to be fair, but again, these are just I'm mentioning them because they're exceptions. What about the other 15 losses to the 2 wins? This didn't have to happen. You didn't need Rhea still in this program. You're on SmackDown now. Fuck off, to be honest. I mean, she does what she's told. I'm speaking to the creative here, not Rhea. I'm still a bit annoyed she was just randomly inserted. Oh, well, we need a new SmackDown face champ now that Bianca's pregnant. Because obviously WWE probably informed of this a month or two ago. Instead of going with Charlotte Flair, who basically all the fans wanted, or Alexa Bliss, who's the most over woman in SmackDown before Rhea joined, or Tiffany Stratton, who's in her 20s, had a long ass reign, and has so much potential. The ceiling's massive. No, they have to import Rhea. And now they've got her back in this fucking storyline. I guess it's for like a farewell, an official on screen farewell for Io. But you didn't have to beat the fucking Kabuki Warriors in that. I would have been as annoyed. They didn't actually. Why the fuck was this match not announced yet? Io vs Asuka could not get in the Mania card at all. Meanwhile, the Danhausen segment is there. Tom was fun. I didn't mind it so much. I wouldn't hate on it if it wasn't. It was such a short night too. Like I said, tonight's show went about 20 minutes less. If that, 15, 20 minutes less than night 2 of Mania. Just fucking insane to me. 3.5 hour show tonight. 2.5 hour show, sorry. Like, no announcement. Io Asuka, a backlash, but you know it's going to happen. The match was fine. Match itself, nothing remarkable, nothing bad. Besides one moment. Good God, man. Io Sky needs to stop doing a suicide dive. Hot take. What is the point of the suicide dive? It's so overdone now that it loses its luster and its appeal and its shock factor. It's never really had much shock factor again. I prefer it when, and again, I guess Io can't do this. She, bless her, she's a great wrestler, one of the best. She's so athletic, but I don't think Io's clear in the fucking top rope. It's actually safer when you go over the top rope, which we see a lot of wrestlers do. So Ruca, I mean, God, hers is always a bit dangerous because she fucking backflip moonsaults over. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. But someone like Drew McIntyre, man of his size, even, I never feel like on the edge of my seat, like butt clench moment, like, oh God, when McIntyre, and he does it rarely, does his front flip sent on. Not even fucking Jey Uso, who barely clears the rope. You need Jimmy to pull it down to get this motherfucker over there. Even him sometimes. I don't feel like as scared when he's going for his over the top thing. It's actually more safer because you go in from a lower angle. There's less time to flip. Io did a suicide dive onto Asuka, and I don't think she caught her properly. I wouldn't blame either of them. It was just a miscue. Io kind of just deflected off Asuka's right side. Asuka's kind of gone to try and catch it, but rolled with it. Bro, Io Sky, it looked like she landed on her neck. How flexible is this woman's neck? Oh God. It was, that was one of the worst examples I've ever seen. One of the most prominent examples I've ever seen of when you say it was an inch from disaster. She almost broke her neck. She kind of landed and just flopped over. And the camera cut away briefly, I think, like showing Kyrie or Rhea. And in that split second, I was like, oh my, is she just broken there? She might be dead. Legit. This almost happened a couple of weeks ago as well. I can't remember who it was on. Probably the same person or same team. Because she mainly wrestles Asuka and Kyrie lately. But again, she dived out and looked like she was gonna just kind of landed on her head. Or almost on it. This has to be a learning curve. Io, you're too great a wrestler. You don't have to take that many risks. It's not worth it. It's one of them spots now where people see it and yeah, it'll get a cheer. It's forgotten about 20 seconds later. It's not a huge spot. Not worth it at all. I see it from quite a lot of people. A lot of wrestlers do it. Not how good a wrestler you are. You're always leaving a bit to fate. A lot can go wrong in a suicide dive. If the opponent doesn't catch you properly, if you catch the rope somewhat, don't come through clean. That was the one thing I remember from this match, unfortunately. In the end, Rhea hit Riptide on Kyrie. Io, mere seconds, about 20 seconds after almost breaking the neck, gets up and does a moonsault because it's Io. She's crazy, of course she did. She wasn't shaking or anything. She just gets up, does it. Pins Kyrie, because of course, Kyrie takes more pins than anyone. One, two, three. Why? Like I said, why? That was one aspect of the show I wasn't really big on. Why have them? Rhea's just won the world championship. She could have taken a loss. If you're gonna do the fucking tag match, I wouldn't have done the first place anyway. I would have had Io versus Asuka or something, and Rhea and Kyrie there. If you really wanted a match involving these women, have them ringside or something, and then it just devolved into kind of a brawl. Much later on in the show, right towards the end, Io and Rhea were seen backstage, talking, and man, they really play up to like the lesbian vibes in this dynamic. They honestly do. At one point, when they're going out into the match, normally I wouldn't comment on it. People like to weirdos on the IWC. They love to ship these female wrestlers. I see it all the time with female tag teams, or female male pairings or whatever. They seriously do. Rhea's clearly got a big like LGBTQ fan base. I feel like they hammered up a little. The the camera angle cut at one point. Rhea and Io kind of on knees during her entrance, um, and it cuts kind of to an angle where Rhea turns towards Io and she's brushing her neck or something, or moving her hair off or whatever. But it looked like she's, later on the hugging and that she's like, "Oh, I hope you'll." Reason I say this as well with the vibes I get from them. There's a bad vibe in regard to it. Does feel like a lot of the time that Rhea was Io's protector. She's literally saying to her, they're all the best mates. I love you too. You be safe. I'm going to be gone a while, but I'm sure I'll see you again. Let me know if you need me, kind of thing. Io is one of the best wrestlers. He's a superior in ring wrestler to Rhea, even, who's great. I don't like that. Before this match as well, I should say, Asuka cut promo in Japanese subtitles. Really good promo, I thought. She's shooting on. Well, she's not shooting. She's firing off on Io. Maybe this was a shoot, to be fair, because she told no fucking lies, man. She's saying, "Oh, Io, blah blah blah." The one line that stuck with me was, you've been paired, you've been following along, you've basically been Rhea's sidekick. Rhea's a champion now. What have you got? What are you left with? She's going SmackDown and she's going to leave. You're on your own now. What has this whole Rio thing done for you? Where is she left? It's a Asuka's right. From an EO perspective, I really prefer one over another. Rhea and Io. They're not my favourites, but they're up there. They're both great. I mean, there are a lot of parallels between both of them. They're both insanely over. Both of them can't really cut promos, but they're so good in ring. And they have aura that it kind of doesn't matter so much. But Io Sky, so often, Mania moment, you contrast to last year, she came out holding the championship. This year, she was just hanging off Rhea's side, holding her up like a fucking baby on her hip while Rhea holds the championship. I don't know. I'm like, I didn't mind this connection. I'm surprised they broke it up. But I was less surprised after Bianca announced her pregnancy that, oh, well, they're going to put the fucking title on Rhea now. It's Triple H. I know how his mind works at this point. I think it's for the best that they stop this here and now, to be honest. Because, yeah, Io was just coming across so often as she needs Rhea to protect her. Io lost to Jade, and then Rhea beats Jade. Discrepancy, man. What happened to Triple H? Loving Ian. I'm sure she'll probably be Asuka because he hates asking Kyrie more. But I just wanted this match announced. I'm sure it'll get announced next week. And obviously, the main talking point will be which side will Kyrie go? I think she will eventually turn on Asuka in this program. If she doesn't, what the fuck we do? This has to be the end goal. Elsewhere in the show, we had a backstage segment. Javon approaches Adam Pearce. He's talking, basically saying, Penta's there as well. That was it. It began with Penta and Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce basically saying, and rightly so, it's given Penta his flowers as a guy. It was incredible last night. And what you did, you and the other guys did. Congratulations, still being champ. Yada yada. Javon comes over, another participant who made that match great. It's basically saying, I would like Penta, well done, congrats, good effort, good match, GG. But I would like another opportunity. Ethan Page suddenly appears. Bro, I broke out into the widest grin. I didn't see any spoilers or any speculation in the IWC before tonight's show. I didn't go on there. I did during the breaks. So I wasn't spoiled on this. They did spoil it. Sol Ruca. They spoiled the whole card, honestly. They spoiled the Sol Ruca was getting called up, that Ethan Page is getting called up, and some other things. There was one surprise they didn't cover, and that was the Street Profits. But just seeing this as an unexpected surprise was so nice. There's one thing I want to say though. Why not have him on SmackDown? He worked great with Chelsea. I'm surprised he didn't. resurrect that. Cardona's there. Maybe if they want Chelsea to have a male on-screen companion, they can do that. 'Cause they're a real-life couple. But Ethan and Chelsea were so fucking good, man. We never saw that main roster. They mainly worked on NXT, AEW. They mixed tag champs for a while. It just worked. They were thrown together randomly. Chelsea was sent down there one day, basically. She's come up said it and just told, work with this guy. And she'd heard of him, but she didn't know much else about him. And right from the off, it just clicked. Now, maybe, nah, they wouldn't touch you. I was about to say, maybe they could bring Chelsea and Alba to Raw, send Bailey and Lara to SmackDown, who heaven knows they need faces. And I'm going to say something in a minute, which is another reason why they need faces. So bear with me. But if you have hair on Raw, I guess Matt Cardona would have to go over as well. I mean, I might not be the worst thing for him, but he has only just gotten SmackDown. There's a lot of guys he hasn't faced yet, so yeah, maybe that's something they could just resurrect in future. You can always bear that in mind. Oh well, Ethan and Chelsea work great together. The longer you wait, though, the more odds one of them might go face or something. Chelsea's already kind of gets like face reactions. It's so entertaining. Ethan's in the same mold. Great to see him on the main roster. Um, and for sure, I mean, I'm not exactly fuming about this two. I think it would have been better SmackDown fit, but there's so many great people for him to work with from Raw. Raw's mid-card scene is fucking stacked right now, man. For a while, under Dom's reign towards the end of last year, Dom's great. It felt a little bare bones. It was like he was always taking on Penta, and Penta was always losing, which was a shame. Finn and JD were tag champs, so they went there as possibilities. Rusev was brought in and out sparingly. Dragon Lee was in a tag team with AJ Styles. Now he's not. He can go in there. Rey Mysterio's back. He can go in there. It's all. Now you add Ethan Page to it. Really, really good. IC title scene now. Ethan and Javon had words. They went out for a match. Perfect opening match to put on for Page. I thought this was a really good match. I thought the in-ring action in general tonight was pretty damn good. We had three really solid matches. The tag match was it was fine. Besides the near botch, but it was fine. This was good. I knew it would be. They work well in NXT. Like I said, not going to go in and out, so I didn't make notes, so I don't remember all the spots, etc. The match was interrupted towards the end by Rusev, who just appeared in a fucking timekeeper area. It's like, almost like a jump scare. 1 second, Javon's beating on Page outside the ring, turning around, Rusev's just fucking there. Javon hits him after Rusev had struck him. He kind of hesitates. Ethan's kind of on his knees. He's a bit beat up. Javon's kind of going in for the kill, ready to go for the kill. Then he changes his mind. He goes after Rusev, takes him out, gets back in the ring. By this point, Page has recovered, hits his finisher. 1, 2, 3. Ethan Page wins his first match. Now, I'd seen afterwards on these links that this was listed as the one contender match. I don't remember them ever on the show announcing it as such. And now Rusev's got himself involved as well. Are we just going to split off to Rusev and Javon feuding? Which I'm all for. I don't mind that at all. I think that's a good feud for Javon. Good feud for Rusev. I think they work well together. It's a great contrast. And then are we just going to have Page versus Penta? Is it too soon for Ethan to go after the IC belt? I don't think we should be dethroning Penta for a while, man. I mean, he's great. It took him a year to win this. About 6 losses, like I said. Is a loss going to hurt Ethan too much? Probably not. But I'm not always a huge fan of just promoting someone and putting them straight in the title picture. Someone like Trick, they left him for a couple of months to marinate before he went for it. I think that's better. They did this with Jordan Grace. They were kind of forced to because Jade was booked so poorly. She had no fucking opponent. She had 2 opponents prior and she injured them both. But then, Jordan Grace has got to build herself back up. Rusev, after the match, came back in and assaulted Javon. Ethan's such a great heel, man. He really is. He's like, there's a lot of classic Miz about him, the way he goes about his business. He looked like he's kind of glancing over, like, oh, should I help or should I get involved? And yeah, he literally just went like that and just fucking walked off. He stands by the ringside. Penta, Rusev gets Javon as camel clutch. Penta comes out to make the save. As he's running down the ramp, Ethan, you'd seen, was kind of in the corner, near the barricade outside the ring. But he was positioned to such an extent, I thought he's probably going to come across and just cut Penta off it, beat on him, and then that starts their problem. No, he let Penta go in. Penta kind of attacks Rusev, and then gets on the ropes. Then Ethan knocks him down. And you could see him kind of hesitating. Do I go in and beat on Penta now? But Rusev's kind of staring at Ethan as well. We know what Rusev's like. He will attack anyone. He doesn't care if it's another heel. We saw that in the Raw before Mania and at Mania itself when JD was trying to kind of buddy up to him. Hey, we're both heels. Let's shake hands. Let's take out these fuckers. And he was like, fuck you. Takes him out. Ethan thought better of it. He's very much a thinking man's heel, Ethan. Kind of a wily shit cunt heel. Like Alexa used to be, like Chris Jericho used to be, the kind of like heels that will do these nefarious tactics, but they're happy to let other people do their day. I like that contrast of, Rusev's kind of the wrecking ball heel. Now, is this setting up for a fatal four-way between them all? I wouldn't mind that, honestly. If it is straight up 1v1, Paige and Penta, like I said, maybe a bit too soon for Ethan, but sign me up, man. It's going to be a great match. Ethan's great in ring. His match at Halloween Havoc against El Hijo del Vikingo, great. His matches against Ricky Saints, great. His matches against Trick Willie, great. His matches against Oba and Javon, great. Miles Bourne, great. This guy, I've never seen him have a bad match. Genuinely. I watched quite a lot of NXT last year. Vast majority of it. So delighted for him to be on the main roster. Speaking of new recruits, firstly, we had the Judgment Day come out. All of them. Liv was doing it. Oh, God. I got excited for a second because Liv's coming out. You'd seen them backstage walking. And then watch me. Start of her old theme start. And I'm like, oh, thank God. She's gone back to her old theme. Her old theme was so much better than this shit that has become her theme. Watch me, and then it transitions into the trouble thing. And I'm just, oh, what are they doing, man? What are they doing? Death Rebel, one of the few Death Rebel themes that was actually good. It's like Death Rebel made something good accidentally, and they were like, "Oh shit, we've got to fuck it up somehow. What are we gonna do?" They're obviously trying to really elevate Liv to this mainstream level, given this pop star style music vid, where there's kind of Britney and Christina vibes to her. She's about that age, about my age, Liv. So about that era. It just ain't it, man. You're a good wrestler, Liv, but you're not a singer. This theme is not it. I just need them to take it off her. Maybe it'll grow on people. I don't know. I don't see this ever growing on me. It's just awful. So if she comes out to that, followed by the Judgment Day. As soon as they just came out to the Judgment Day females. And she starts cutting promo. The crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." I think overall for her career, she did deserve the Rumble win. She did deserve this Mania moment. But I've been very critical of Liv of late. I think her feud with Vaquero is up and down. I need to see better. I'm looking at under more scrutiny now. Liv, I always saw something in her. When she was a fucking jobber, when she was a Riot Squad. This woman is world championship material. There's a difference between world champion material and being the girl. We've seen a lot of the girls in the past. I'm unconvinced that she is anywhere near as good as a Charlotte Flair, as a Becky Lynch, Alexa. At moments in time, they were all the face of the division. Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair. You have other ones who are champions where it never feels like they are the girl, like Io, like Tiffany. They have potential to be, but you need this kind of prolonged reign. Like I said, Bianca had basically like a year plus long reign. Alexa had a stretch where she was champ 5 times in 2 years. She was basically always champ. Charlotte always had kind of brief reigns, but it was so fucking often that it felt like she was on top for years. But they all, I didn't question any of that with them. And there are still some question marks for me over Liv. Because I think when you come back in November, through up to the Mania season, I didn't get that vibe of this is the face of the division, which they've basically made it that now. They've took Rhea off, who was the biggest star on Raw, and they're really focusing on Liv now as being the woman of the division, the woman that runs the division. My eyes, it's still Becky. Maybe I'm just a fucking nostalgia major. I don't. I didn't watch for a number of years closely enough, so I still see a lot of these women's Revolution era divas, uh, the women as like bigger. To be honest, I think it was better then. But I'm definitely open to it. Liv has moments of greatness for sure. I thought tonight was much better. I mean, her voice goes through me when she does this greatest of all time. Ha 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 ha. Tackles. Gimmick. I hate that. Drop that, please, Liv. Then she got a really good promo, basically like, this division's mine. I'm putting it on notice. Crowd did the "You Deserve a Chance," which was nice to see. I'm still on Liv's side in that regard. Um, Interrupted by Sol Ruca, who come on to a great ovation, which is good. It's been a bit up and down with Sol Ruca. It's kind of weird because she's fucking great. I remember when her and Zarya were taking on Charlotte and Alexa when they were tag champs. Uh, Soul come out on SmackDown. I mean, maybe it was just because it's SmackDown, to be fair. And the crowds are never up for SmackDown because it's fucking shit. But she come out one night and it was to crickets, and I was just like, oh god, don't be doing my girl Soul like this, guys. She's fucking great. Like, oh. But since then, she had the match. Big credit to Bayley putting her over in the Cena retirement show. She had the great showing at Royal Rumble where she was eliminated by Liv. I think. Was it Liv? Might have been Tiffany, actually. I think it was Tiffany. But she was in the final three with Liv and Tiffany. So they had a bit of pass. So main roster, I've seen a little more of her, and they gave her a great reaction. It's nice to see. I almost wonder if Liv overran a little, or the show was a bit behind. She kind of power. She didn't really rebel. She power up to the ring, gets in, and there was serious vibes of they always do this shit. It's such a formula. Paige and AJ Lee all those years ago. You have an NXT star come out and congratulate the new champ. Vaquer and Io last year. Vaquer at the time was still NXT champ. Sol never did become NXT champ, actually. She's going to end up being one of those women like Bianca, like Alexa, where it's kind of like Blake Monroe may end up being this. Where in years to come, you'll look at them like, wow, how the fuck did this person never actually win the NXT Women's Champ? Because they went on to become multiple time world champ. Sol Ruca has that in it, main roster. Blake Monroe definitely does. Blake Monroe's already like main event level if they present it right. So interacting with Liv, the top woman on Raw, right from the off is a good sign. I do believe, I don't have much faith in this fucking creative team, but I don't think they're that stupid to not see greatness in her, potential to be great. She's not amazing on the mic, but she's one of those like Io, like Rhea, like Asuka. It doesn't really matter. She's so great. Like Vaquer as well. Yeah. Raw's full of a lot of them, honestly. Becky's by far the best on the mic in Raw still. And AJ, if she gets to a peak, I don't think she's quite been there since she got back. But I feel like Raw's the show with. And SmackDown's the opposite. A lot of the time, the in-ring action in SmackDown's been dog shit in the last year or so. But they have absolute killers on the mic. You have Zelina, you have Alexa, you have Charlotte, Tiffany, even on the mic's great. Bianca, when she's back, is fucking great on the mic. So yeah, it's kind of a funny contrast there. But Sol will get over just through it in ring where she's so entertaining to watch. She's so unique in some of the shit she does. The problem with Sol is I'm always watching her thinking, oh god, please don't get injured. She takes so many crazy risks. This was a really good match. They matched well together and knew it'd be good. Liv's very good in the ring. Sol is very good as well. Um, I like that Liv introduces different things into Arsenal sometimes. She grabbed Sol Ruca, put her through the middle rope and top rope at one point. And it was kind of like a camel clutch almost, while Liv's kind of got her legs either side of Sol's body, holding on to it and just pulling her back. Liv took a book out, a page out Zaria's book as well. Maybe this was the sign of things to come at one point by grabbing Sol, who's fucking tall. Liv's short, but she got up on the ropes. Sam grabbed her and lifted her up. Liv showing her strength. Um, besides that, like I said, I didn't make notes. I didn't make note in my head of too many great spots that I'm going to run over. I'm not going to recap the actual in-ring action too much. But it was a good match. Sol did a flip over the side, excuse me, onto Roxanne and Raquel, who I thought may get involved because they remained ringside. Dom disappeared and JD disappeared. JD was getting ready for his match later on the night. Dom just was out with it. It was like, fuck it. But he missed a good match. Apparently, this went 13 minutes. I saw a tweet. I've not seen that verified. The fact that Liv and Stephanie were 7 minutes, Mania night one, even more ridiculous now. I wasn't that sold on that build, Liv vs Vaquer, whereas everyone else was ass kissing it. I feel like I wouldn't be scrutinizing Liv as much if it wasn't for the sheer amount of insane gassing online where people talk about her like she's Austin, combined with Triple H's favoritism booking. It's the same with Rhea. Bro, he loves Rhea and Liv. He loves it. Triple H, he has his favorites. It's so fucking obvious for certain people. And there's other people, like an LA Knight, like an Alexa, who are great. The fans love them both. They're world champion material. But Triple H clearly hates them. He loves Gunther. Gunther is fantastic as well. Fair enough. But he loves him to an extent sometimes where it's a bit like, bro, you know. I could see Saul becoming one of his favorites in that same vein, honestly. Just hopefully they don't fucking overbook her in the end. The match in the end, after she took out Raquel and Roxanne, it wasn't their interference that cost this, because it looked like she had to live on the ropes at one point. She went for an oblivion on Soul, and Soul Ruka did a fucking handstand to get out of it, then kicks Liv in the midriff and goes for the Soul Snatcher. Some people are critical of the Soul Snatcher. I can see why. I'm not going to argue against it too much because they're like, oh, it kind of makes the opponent look like dumbasses. This was one of the worst examples, I do think, where she hits Liv midriff. Liv kind of doubles over and strolls over to buy the turnbuckle and gets Soul Snatchered. Did I say this is one of the worst examples? This is one of the better examples, I think, of it looking okay. I've seen times where the person's had to kind of move into the it. A bit like Rusev did against Javon. He gave on the Mania match off the ladder off his OG cutter. You've got to give some weight to it though. It's not like Randy, we can strike it from anywhere. You've got to have some settle. So I don't mind it so much in that regard, but I can see why people dislike the Soul Snatcher as a finisher. Personally, I think in to the general public, it will get her over more on the main roster. The more Sol gets over, the better. All credit to Liv, working with her right from the off. You know, you've just won the championship. You've basically been given the keys to the kingdom now for Raw's division because Rhea has gone to SmackDown. And the first thing she does is go in there and have a banger with Sol, you know, help her get over. The interference came after Roxanne and Raquel were cleared by Zarya. Zarya appeared from nowhere. For a split second, I'm like, oh, isn't Zarya in Raw as well? And then the commentary team said, oh, you know, they've got a last man standing match tomorrow. Right, you are. I forgot about that. It is week 2 of Stand and Deliver, you know, NXT Revenge tour, where they basically run a bunch of rematches back. That will be Sol Ruca's swan song from NXT. But first and foremost, Zarya took it out, speared her. Zarya just goes back up the ramp. She was getting boos as the heel. She's interesting because in the build up to Stand and Deliver, she was getting cheered more than Sol, the NXT crowd. She's weird. Sol, I thought Zarya was going to maybe pick her up and throw her back in the ring and then oblivion. You know, I could see it. Sol gets in the ring, staggers to her feet, holds up the ropes, looks at Zarya, then turns around into oblivion. No, Sol got in and beat the count at 9, staggers up to the ropes, facing towards the ring, and then hits oblivion, picks up the win. As Liv rolls out the crowd, rolls out the ring, goes back up the ramp with Raquel and Rox. Vaquer's Liv jumped a fucking mile. I don't blame her. Big explosion, big fireworks go off. Vaquer comes on. Chucks a million bucks, as usual. They just had a stare off. There wasn't much to this. All of Raquel, Roxanne, and Liv kind of took a couple of backward steps and a selling, you know, oh shit. Stephanie's going to be angry. But then Liv, I like this as well. I liked how they did this. Liv took a couple of steps forward. She didn't really look for them to get there. She didn't get behind them. She took a couple of steps forward. They have a stare off. Vaquer's talking shit. You can't hear what you say. Probably saying something Spanish. You know, basically, I'm coming for the title. She's pointing at it. Liv just holds it up. So when will we get that? How big is the Backlash card going to be? I feel like a lot of people are fantasy booking a lot of Mania rematches or whatever the fuck. But we already have one match that looks like it's been lined up for Backlash. I'm going to talk about that later. And surely Io Asuka happens there. Will we get Liv Vaquer there? Or will they do that on a Raw? Will they push this to Clash? That means playing out this feud for another month, which I don't know whether they do, but we'll see. I could see them running this on like a Raw main event next week or week after, something like that. But yeah, this was good, this whole thing, and great to see Sol Ruca on Raw. Like I said, I think SmackDown needed more, but her boyfriend's on Raw, so fair enough. You're not going to fucking split them apart to put her on the division that needs them all. Reason why earlier I said this is kind of a bad thing is the other female call-up I expect to see. I want to just say one other thing before we move to this point, actually. Zarya versus Sol Ruca tomorrow in that last woman standing match. I know Sol lost tonight. It was courtesy of Zarya, but she pushed the world champion well, had her on the ropes. So it didn't really detract from Sol's performance much. I would have Zarya win though. You have to have Zarya win this. Sol's leaving NXT. She's not going to benefit from it too much. She won at Stand and Deliver, which I think was the wrong decision anyway. From Zarya should have won. You need to build Zarya up as this big heel. She's already great. Elevate her more on the way out. And go. I don't think Sol taking defeat on back-to-back nights will impact it too much. So the performance was so great tonight. And, you know, the crowd who only watch Raw won't see this. Yeah, I expected post-Mania Sol would go on SmackDown. because I didn't think of Fate or Dunn or whatever the fuck it is she's dating. It's one of the Americana. I expected the other call up to be either JC on her own or all of Fatal Influence, and I thought they would go to Raw. Now, this will happen on Friday for sure. JC is getting called up. I mean, if she's not, what the fuck are we doing? For last week, she lost her rematch against Lola for the title she lost, the Sun Liver. And she was kind of crying and waving to the fans, waving goodbye, basically. The only question now is, do Fallon and Laney come up with her? I wouldn't mind it at all. I think Laney's landed on her feet a bit there. She's not been part of Fatal Influence that long. It was Jasmine Nix for a long time, and she left because she just wanted to get paid. Fallon deserves it for sure. But can you call up Jason Fallon or call up Laney? I don't mind if all three of them come up in a sense that Laney's great in ring. I know she's new joined to them. They're all great. I like them all. Problem here is, how many fucking heels do you have in SmackDown, bro? There's so many. You have to start turning some of them. I would have Kiana attack Julia this week. Problem is as well, with Alexa and Charlotte both being faces, one of them's probably going to go heel at some point. Because, yeah, they could just break apart naturally or go for single titles, kind of like Rhea and Io. But why would you not run a feud? Why would you not run Charlotte and Alexa as a feud? But then you look at how many heels there are. There's Jade, there's Michin, there's B-Fab. There's an infinite wisdom now to say Michin and B-Fab people. And then have Jade fucking lose anyway. What the fuck are you doing? Yes, SmackDown gained Rhea, the biggest face in the fucking division. Jordan Grace is back. Tiffany Stratton's there. Charlotte Flair, Alexa Bliss. If you look at them actually name for name, the five faces there, they're probably the five of the biggest fucking names in the whole roster of SmackDown. They are probably the five biggest. But then you have Jade, Michin, B-Fab, Julia, Kiana, Zelina, Candice. Technically, I mean, her and Johnny were kind of starting to get over as baby faces. I actually think they might get released soon, or Johnny just has to leave, which is going to be a damn shame because I love them both. Chelsea, Alba, Piper, if she comes back, there's 10 already. There are more I'm thinking of, I just can't think right now. It's fucking insane. It's just heel after heel after heel after heel. So then if you add all of Fatal Influence to SmackDown, because they're going to go there by default because Saul has to go to Raw, the fuck are we do? Yeah, that's where the idea came from before of, oh, maybe send Chelsea and Alba to Raw and then bring Bayley and Lyra to SmackDown. So let's face it, what the fuck are Bayley and Lyra doing in Raw? They weren't even on the show tonight. I feel so sorry for them. They're both so talented. They deserve so much more. But then I forgot Cardona's on SmackDown, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, a part of their contract literally probably is we have to work on the same show. What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? So I'm beginning to think it will just be JC comes up. Yeah, even less than those faces as well. Tiffany's a natural heel, I think. She's a better heel. I don't even always buy that she's a full face. She's kind of like a bit of shades of grey. She's a bit of both. Sometimes. Alexa's better heel as well. Charlotte's a better heel. They're all better heels. It's fine. That's weird. You need Bayley and Lara there. They're both better faces. Or call other people up from NXT, but who? Lola's a face. She's champ, though. You can't do that. Tatum's a face. She's champ. You can't do that. Blake's not getting called up. She's a heel anyway. Because they just started something with her and Vanity Project. Izzy Dame's a heel. She would probably end up on Raw as well anyway, because she's dating Braun Breaker. Kalani's a heel. Kalani is one of those for sure that ordinarily I would have said she's definitely getting called up, but you can't have that many heels. It's a complete fucking imbalance. I guess Paige and Brie, Nikki are probably all faces now. So if they were to lose to Nia and Lash, other heels I didn't mention before. So there's 12, 13 heels or so. Nikki Cross, I'm not even going to count because never ever wrestled for whatever fucking reason. This woman's not wrestled on TV since 2023. Who knows? I'm interested to see what other call ups we do get on Friday, though. The SmackDown. This is call up week. It's always exciting. I was actually prepared to be disappointed because they've been a bit disappointing. Raw after Manias of late. Do we get Ricky Saints called up to the men's division? That would be fire. He did a tweet of, the kind of happy, proud, with tears in her eyes face. And I think that was as Ethan's coming up, which makes sense. They're two really close friends on and off screen. I've load of history in AEW together and NXT. A lot of people saying on this tweet, hope to see you on Friday, Ricky. Too fucking right. There was also an announcement at the end of the show, basically, of what is coming next week. There's a Joe Hendry concert on Raw next week, and they said he is a Raw superstar now. Did not see that coming. I thought he would go in SmackDown. What was NXT left with? Tony D's the champ. I don't mind at all. They are building up a lot of guys. Keanu, Carver, Shiloh Hill, I think is great. Miles Bourne's there as NA champ. Perfect choice. You're looking at a situation where they've taken Ethan Page away. They've taken Hendry away. In terms of the men's division, would they keep Ricky there? I feel a bit sorry for Ricky then, though. He's worthy of SmackDown. He has a pass with Cody as well, a long pass with him. So you can do stuff there. Same with Trick Willie. SmackDown's balance of faces and heels in the men's division, I think, is pretty good. So I don't think it disrupts too much. He is a heel, Ricky. I hope to see him on Friday. I really do. Yeah, Joe Hendry next week. We have a Hendry concert. Look forward to. Elsewhere in Raw, Finn Balor had cut a promo earlier on in the night, which I thought was very good. It was detailing the history him and JD had, JD McDonough. JD then did one much later on the show, just before the match. They talk about how JD, when he was 12 years old, went to the Finn Balor gym, or the gym Finn Balor trains at. I know Balor was big enough to have his own gym at that point, I remember. They said he'd, correctly so, he mostly spent his career under Finn's wing. He was like his protege, he was sensei and student. And they played upon the fact that Finn Balor was saying, when I was betrayed by the Judgment Day, I kind of expected it from Dom. I always had an eye on him. We know what he's like, but the one person I thought would always be by my side would be the one who would have my back was JD. JD made a choice and basically chose wrong. Finn cut great line with saying, listen, they detailed the history. I brought you into the business, but I'm going to be the one to take you out. And happened tonight. They went 1-on-1. Again, very good match. We expected it. Finn attacked JD before the bell had even rung. JD just got in the ring. He had his tape around his midriff, JD, selling, because he was in that really brutal ladder match. Great performance from both men, really, on Sunday. I enjoyed Finn and Don. I thought it was in the upper echelon of matches in the card. It was probably like my 5th or 6th favourite out of 13. But I would say only like 7 of Mania are actually good. The rest of them just had the time cut, basically. I thought Cody and Randy was straight bad. Yeah, both of them are quitting themselves well. No wrestling again the next night. 2 workhorses, these guys. 2 great guys. I hope they end up going into the IC picture. They feuded, brawled on the outside a bit. At one point, there was a bit of a miscue. JD went for a corkscrew and landed straight on Finn's face. Finn started bleeding from the mouth. It's just twice we saw blood tonight, so both times were unintentional. I'll cover the other segment in a bit, because that actually happened before this. They have a lot of back and forth. Finn getting blood, it did add to it. He ends up winning. He does coup de grace to JD, pins him 1, 2, 3. Immediately after the match, he's assaulted by Dominic Mysterio. He eventually kind of gets Dom off him. Dom flees, grabs JD, walks up the ramp. We're clearly not done there. Again, this is another one. I feel like there's so many prospective backlash matches. It's be interesting what they do. Knowing WWE, they will stick to this fucking 4 match card for these B-level PLEs. Why? Why did they do it, man? We should have 6 match cards every fucking PLE at least. No, they only reserve that for Mania now. It's fucking ridiculous. Oh, and SummerSlam, I guess. SummerSlam 6 each night. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have it on Raw or something? He he promised to take out all of Judgment Day. He said Dom was the first one. Well, he says that. I'm like, well, there's only one more, JD. Because they're the only men left. And Carlito's gone. Priest's long gone. Truth's gone. He was the honorary Judgment Day member. Well, is he gonna wrestle Raquel? I'd love to see that. This was a good match. It's nice to see both men getting their flowers a little more of late. You know, when Punk came out and paid tribute to them both after he'd won the World Championship. Um, Finn came out to a great reception. I thought at times in the build up to Mania, it felt like the fans were a little cool on this. But I don't know. I feel like maybe seeing the Demon return, which is always great. My favorite entrance of the whole Mania season that was him or Roman was up there. This was a really good ovation. He's got his banger theme, it's doing it. Ooh. Now, on all the crowd, you could see they're all doing it, all playing along. So I'm interested to see where this goes. But the main question, to be honest, is just how long will it go for? They're going to run it back at some point, I'm sure. Dom versus Finn. Do they give Dom his win back there? I'd seen Finn win, to be honest. I don't think it hurts Dom much. He's still AAA champion. Maybe they wrestle for that belt. If that is the case, Dom will retain, I think. Dom should retain. If not, I would rather have Finn. The segment I was talking about before, where there was other potential blood. Oh, bro. First and foremost, before this, they played a great, beautiful video segment, paying tribute to Brock Lesnar, who of course retired. I don't think he is coming back. There's still the possibility with Gunther's favour he's owed, but they're doing this now. Lesnar clearly got the fuck out of Vegas as soon as he was done. He probably went backstage, said his goodbyes. They might cover this for WWE Real. Knowing Brock, I'd be surprised. I think his kind of retirement. You know, the thing is, it fits Brock. He's always been a very unassuming guy. He's never really wanted the spotlight, or he's never done many interviews. He's not one really for a lot of the razzmatazz of red carpet, shit like that. Promotional material, not massively. He just happy, he's turning up, doing his bit, getting his money, fucking off to his farm. He's content doing that. That's pretty base, man. Yeah, he's like the Paul Scholes of wrestling. Paul Scholes was like that. Yeah, it's kind of base. And Golo can't say is another one. I fucking hate Paul Scholes because he was a Man United player, but I respect that. You don't want your private life all over the thing show, you know, you don't really want the celebrity aspect of it. You just want to go in, do your job. Go, come on. But they did something where at the start of the show, kind of showed Brock. And I was thinking, is he going to appear? Are they going to do like a retirement send off? Or Heyman comes in and speaks to him? You know, they have words. I feel like they kind of misled us in that regard. Maybe I just read into it wrong, but the fact they had the graphic and it was like Brock Lesnar tonight, appreciation or something. I think it said Brock Lesnar appreciation. I have to watch that. Well, let me know. But now we had that in the form of a video segment first, and it was beautiful. I am one of those man. Like I'm old enough. I remember his debut. Remember clear as day, like it was yesterday, because boy was a memorable debut. Comes on the way powerbombed Spike. He's fucking manhandled him. And Spike wasn't a big guy, but still, he fucking manhandled him. It was a deadlift. on the second power bomb. He used to do the back-to-back power bombs. It's been a number of years since he's done that. But it cuts through all of his accomplishments. There were various superstars talking about him. It cut through Paul Heyman saying, "Oh, the moment I knew he was a star was the first moment I laid eyes on." Which is so true. He was already ready. I said this yesterday. I paid some tribute to his career myself yesterday. In OVW, Cornette and Danny Davis saw the talent in him right away. Like, they all did. I remember seeing an interview with Randy Orton a while back where he was on Logan Paul's podcast, Impulsive. And he was saying, like, Brock was just a beast. He was an animal even then. They were all running the ropes, doing drills, and Brock just did a suicide dive out of the rope. There were a load of empty chairs because it was an empty arena. And he just went far back, cleared out about fucking 20 chairs, like 10 minutes of match day. And everyone's just like, no one's saying if they're all just like speechless. Oh, this guy's crazy. And he stood up and just laughed upon it. He was like, can anyone do that? Oh, do you want to see that again? So he said at that point, they were all like, yeah, this guy's like, gonna be fucking big. Heyman, of course, brought him into SmackDown. He was his mentor. And years later, his advocate. His wise man before the wise man existed. Undertaker, pay tribute. These are all old clips, I think, a lot of them. The Kurt Angle one especially. Kurt Angle one looked like it was filmed in about 2004. Maybe this was like Brock's original farewell. It recaps that. I'm surprised it showed the shot of him flipping off the fans at WrestleMania 20 after one of the low points of his career. That dog shit match against Goldberg. I'm surprised they included that, to be honest. But yeah, a lot of other highlights, him then, it cut, did a brief talk we heard from, fuck's his name? Dana White. Oh, it talked about how he went into UFC, became world champ. He was like, Dana saying he was in WWE and then went to UFC and became world champ. Who does that? How many people can say they've done that? I don't think anyone will ever do that again. Legit. I guess Ken Shamrock, if he'd ever won the WWE main championship, would have done better. Same with Dan Severn, but yeah, I could see it being more the case the other way, but I don't think anyone would ever start in wrestling again and then go into UFC and win the championship. So he was one of a kind, man. Kurt Angle paid tribute to him. Just a number of other people. John Cena showed his return to WWE when he Suplex City, showed the streak ending, and then ended with this whole segment, this whole vignette, this whole video package ended with him going down his final match, putting over over Finn. So yeah, I think it is done. And what a way to go out. Help him put over in what was more a main event than Cody and Randy ever was. That was the real night one main event that we saw in night two. The Vision's music plays. Well, it's actually Logan Paul's music plays, but the Vision Tron is on. He comes out with Theory and Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman comes out, pays tribute to Brock Lesnar. Bro. Logan Paul, a beautiful tribute from Heyman, but you could see he was getting emotion. But Logan Paul got some insane heel hits tonight from the Vegas crowd. Like I said, the crowd was good tonight. After they brought it, he was trying to talk. I've not heard anything like this since Dom. Dom Mysterio at like peak Judgment Day level of fuckboy, basically. When he was with Rhea, the priest, and that. You could not hear this dude, or could barely hear him at times. He was just talking his shit about speed. Whether they run that back at some point, whether we see speed again, maybe. The guy is insanely physically talented. I saw a video the other day on Twitter. Yesterday. Speed was working with some US gymnasts. I don't know over the locals. I doubt they were like nationally trained. but they were doing a vertical jump contest, and he fucking shit on them all. He cleared the winning one was 5-1, and I'm thinking, fucking hell, that's like the size of Io Sky. You can jump over here. But he cleared it with room to spare. He could have kept going. So maybe he will end up following in Logan's. I wouldn't hold my breath on. I wouldn't even necessarily want it. But if he can make a success of it, like Logan did, who I think has the respect of everyone involved in wrestling now for how he's attributed himself in ring, then by all means, I could see this being like a silly Saturday Night's Main Event match. Like I said, there are a lot of events next month. There are three. We have, I think it's the 9th of May, Backlash in Tampa. Saturday Night's Main Event on the 23rd, and then I think on the 29th, or the 30th, it is Clash in Turin. They're in Italy. They have a European tour in mid-May to late May. So there are a lot of opportunities to put this match. It feels like a Saturday Night's Main Event match for me. The fact that he cut this promo, maybe it will happen down the line. There's one thing that might mean it's less likely to, but we'll get to that. After he's finished talking over the crowd, insane chorus of boos, Heyman introduced back Bron Break. Bron Break. He comes out to his theme. He gets the dog whoops, the box. He cuts a decent promo, I thought, on Seth Rollins. And then, just mocking him basically. That was the best part of my weekend. Fucking up. You were that close to beating Gunther. Heyman also had alluded to, he owes Gunther a favour for dealing with Seth freaking Rollins. During the Breaker's promo, Seth appeared from behind, attacked him with a chair on the back. It looked like, because Braun came back up later, and he was bleeding quite a bit from the back of his head or his neck. Thankfully, I think he's okay, because he still went out and performed some physical moves, physical offense, but it looked, I did watch it back. He's hit him over the back. I think it was the very tail end of the chair. I don't think it was like a bad swing by Seth, bad placement. It was just unfortunate. It was kind of on his upper back, but it's obviously caught him somewhere. But yeah, he was bleeding a bit. Braun. All over his back, his head and neck. I don't think he realised until the very end. Held it. But he obviously goes down out the ring, rolls out. Seth had enough time to hit Logan Paul with the top end of the chair. But not enough time to do it for them. He turned into a strike from Austin Theory, gets knocked down. Theory and Paul are teaming on Seth there. Theory's holding Seth back. Paul's attacking him. Then, out of nowhere, I don't think anyone expected this, but I'm so fucking happy. Finally, we see these. Remember these fucking guys exist? The Street Profits theme playing SmackDown Street Profits. Now, that was the first thing I thought of. I mean, the first one was like, whoa, my god, they exist. I didn't just envision their existence. I didn't imagine it. They're back, finally. They've come back from the void. Bianca let Montez out the bedroom. He's obviously been busy there. But yeah, that was my next thought of, oh, well, they're normally on SmackDown. But Bianca's pregnant now, so she's obviously off for like X amount of time. So they can move the Street Profits to Raw. Because I think they will be on Raw now, sure. Or at the least for a promo against these tag champs. Because they came out, they attacked Theory and Paul, basically fought them off out of the arena, chased them out. They got a great ovation as well. It's great to see these guys, man. I still can't believe. I really can't believe. I'll never forgive Creative for this. And by extension, Creative really extra made me just not give a fuck about the MFT and Wyatt awful feud. They had this banger TLC match at SummerSlam. The SmackDown tag division all summer was great, culminated in a great match. So that actually continue. Did they ever even wrestle again on TV after this? The Street Profits? Because only a couple of occasions, if not. Then he disappeared for a long time. They were working NXT house shows during Rumble season. Couldn't even get in the Rumble. Now they're back. Thank God. It's also kind of funny, like, the second Bianca gets pregnant, Montez is like, right, I'm going to go back to work now. Nah, congrats. I issued my congrats to both of them of the Mania Night 1. Memorable weekend for Montez then. Pregnancy announced for the world, and him and Angelo are back. This was so needed. It really was. We don't want to see the Usos in with the Vision again, man. It's been done to fucking death. Usos lost their tag championships. Move on. So who else was there? There's Alpha Academy. Yeah, I like them, but they're not real. They're not tag champs worthy. Who else is there? You have to start filling this division up again. And that is a great way to go about Street Profits. So this will happen on a PLE sooner rather than later. I could see this being a Saturday Night Main Event one as well, to be fair. Or maybe just a Raw match. But I think they'd run this feud a while. And good. It keeps the Vision occupied with someone new, someone that's not Night and Usos. Thank God. We're finally free. Finally. Good God. It gives the Profits something to do when they've had fuck all to do for the last 8 months. And the great wrestlers, they are. All four of them are good, in fact. So they're going to make magic, I think. I think this will be good. I expect the Vision will probably prevail in the end. But maybe they put the belts on Profits and build the Vision around them. I have no qualms with that at all, even. This is really good. Yeah, it keeps Paul and Theory occupied while Braun Breaker's obviously going to have his program with Seth. There is an alternative. Maybe Seth's making a faction around the Profits. I didn't think so. The Profits came out to their theme, I think, and they went specifically after they went specifically after the Vision to chase them off. So, well, after Paul and Theory, not Breaker. Seth had taken a bit of a beating at the hands of Paul and Theory, so he's kind of coming to in the ring, and then Braun gets in, goes to spear him. Seth turns it round, super kicks him, lines up a stomp. Braun moves out the way, spears him once. Seth staggering to his feet. Braun, you can see by this point, full on bleeding. Runs the rope, spears him again. Talks his shit. Bro, every now and again, I know it's his uncle, not his dad. I hear more Scott in Braun than Rick. And when he's talking his shit, it was lovely. He said something to him, and I was like, if I had my eyes closed, I would just straight up think that was Scott Steiner 25 years ago. That makes me laugh because Scott Steiner is one of the funniest, most entertaining people in a lot of bad ways. So bad it's good on the mic ever. My God, the Scott Steiner promo just where fucking peak entertaining. There was cinema, you have to be there. This was great. I think the unintentional blood added to it, added a bit of bite. You know, it's difficult sometimes to pick up a feud that the seeds of which were planted a long time ago. I like the fact that Breaker came out as well, and he made allusions to. He said it was a year ago today in the same arena that I became the leader of Vision. Of course, he's the leader. That is a year ago that he joined Seth Rollins. He was the first man who joined him to make the Vision. Bronson Reed would follow a couple of weeks later. I love the fact that they paid reference to that. And then, just a parallel of a year on, Breaker's kind of cradling Rollins' head in his hands as he's talking his shit. I'm sure Seth will get his licks in. This will carry on as well. I don't know when this match will go. But I'm excited now. Finally, we're at this feud. It was put on hold because Breaker had his hernia. It's a shame we didn't get it at Mania. It really is. But we did get a Seth Gunther banger. Speaking of Gunther, later on the show, he was talking to Jackie Redmond. She straight up asked him, what is this favour from that Heyman owns you? Because Gunther brought it up. He paid reference to it. He looked like about to answer, and then he got interrupted by LA Knight. It looks like it's gonna be Knight versus Gunther then. Sign me up, man. Fuck it. I love both guys. If you're an LA Knight fan, I don't think it's gonna go well for him. He ain't winning this, for sure. LA Knight always fucking. He's the guy that works with that puts guys over basically for Triple H. It's a shame, but hey, he's working with Gunther. What LA Knight actually said was, after Gunther had pledged to go after the World Championship, said, I'm taking the title back. LA Knight also declared his interest in it, said he's going to take it. So maybe that is just them sounding off and they're both going to kind of go in the hunt. I think more than likely they are just going to go after each other. Because the very next last segment of the show, Roman Reigns turned up. The Usos, he walks all the way through the arena. He rides in a Range Rover. He walks all the way through the arena, through Gorilla, and Jay and Jimmy are stood there, side. I don't know what they wear. It was like some American sport team jersey, they call it. American sport team top and kit. The paying respect to him, well done, Roman. Well. Roman goes to walk out, stops. He's like, come with me. So they all come out. At this point, I'm thinking, yeah, man, this is it. The vision, the bloodline is coming back. We sensed it for sure. It's not official yet, but kind of is actually. The bloodline, yeah, it is. Later on the show, Jay and Jimmy still, and they paid tribute, acknowledged. They won't have. They haven't paid reference to the bloodline name yet, but it's basically came back to me. Roman comes out. He paid some minor respect to Punk as well, I think. I was half paying attention. I was at this point actually. I was just listening, not watching. But I think he was like, I don't like Punk as well, but we made magic last night, and they did. That was a banger main event. Great main event. Both guys, I paid big tribute to them. Roman, when he wants to, when he's on, he's on. Same with Punk. Punk's been great this year. So he got his flowers. Crowd were cheering. He's been nice this week to Jay and Jimmy. It's like, I'm really happy you guys are with me. I want you to stand by my side again. And then they do a tribute. I thought that'd be it. I thought that'd just be the closing shot overall. But then, did not see this coming. But I'm fucking excited, man. Jacob Fatu's music played. Fatu came down. My major thought was, oh shit. I mean, the bloodline looked like they just reformed. Is this the fourth member? Could still be. Could still be. Fatu comes out. Roman says, before Fatu even said anything, listen, good to see you, family, cousin, but you must be out of here for one of two reasons. Either you want this, win to the title, uh, or what was the other reason he said? I can't even remember. I don't know, it was either you want to, that was it. Either you want to acknowledge me, or you want this, the challenge. Fatu says, I'm not here to acknowledge you. Um, I don't want that championship. I need that championship. Fans go wild. They're loving it. Roman said, well, Fatu carried on. He was saying, listen, I need what you have. I need the smart shoes. I need the fast cars. I need the luxury vehicles. I need the spot. I need the spot. I need, for the sake of my children, my family, I need to make their life better. I need to be the guy. I need that belt. So at Backlash, we starts talking in Tampa, Florida, your home state. I want that championship. I want a match. Looked a little surprised, Roman. But he's still cool. He's like, okay, I'm not saying yes, I'm not saying no. I'm going to give you time to think about it. I'm going to give you a week to think, is this really what you want? You want to go up against your family? You want to take on the OCC? Uh, and he turned to Jay and Jimmy, kind of dropped the mic, walked off. I think Roman had said as well, yeah, you want the championship? Maybe you could take it from me. Maybe you could beat me. Or maybe I beat you and I have you acknowledge me. That is the question, though. They're not going to have Roman lose this championship, for sure. Fatu's just beaten Drew. He can take a loss. I mean, it's a Roman anyway. It's expected. I think this for sure, it's going to happen, obviously, at Tampa. It's a good sign. Roman did come out. I speculated, like I said, I didn't watch the post show before I did my night two review. I speculated, I'm okay with Roman being champ, even though I really enjoyed Punk's reign. I actually prefer Punk in general to Roman. I'm okay with it on the condition that he's them. Not saying it has to be every week. It could be like he has 1 week off a month, even fine, whatever. But you have to be there more to build stuff, to have face-offs, to actually stand alongside your opponent in the ring. That was the downside to John Cena having so little dates last year. And Cena came out afterwards, after he retired, and said, I offered double the dates, basically. I said I'd do double the work, and they just didn't want to pay him for that or do it for whatever fucking reason. God knows why. Fucking idiots. John Cena, one of the most famous men on the fucking planet, offered to do 60 dates, not 30. And they were like, oh, no, I think 30 is good. That's all we need. Fucking dumbass. Roman would not make the same mistake. If they tried to have him on less, because that's premium, more, less is more. The TKO love. I'm sure Roman probably turned around and like, no, we need to be there. Because you had programs where it was like John Cena went into face Gunther and they didn't even have an in-ring segment. They didn't have a face-off at all. Gunther was trying to do the build on his own. Gunther's so good he could pull it off, but fucking hell. So it's good that A was there tonight. I mean, I expected that to be shared still in Vegas, but Roman is clearly going to be there next week. And I didn't expect, if this is going to happen, him to wrestle on a PLE as soon as the next one, Backlash. But bro, Fatu vs Roman in Florida. Let's go. Roman with the Usos by his side. I was never a huge Bloodline fan. I think they're great. And they played the part in helping carry the company during COVID. I still think Drew carried it, really. I still think, in a lot of ways, Jay and Jimmy, especially Jay and Sammy, contributed a huge amount more to the whole Bloodline story and how much over they were than even Roman. But still, he is great. I respect a lot of what Roman Reigns has done. Guy took 7 years to get over. He's nowhere near as great as a lot of people seem to make out. It's that duality. Some talk about him like he's the greatest of all time. He called himself that tonight, where he was talking to Fatu. But do you really want to take on the greatest to go? He's nowhere near that. There's no coincidence that the best part of his entire reign was when The Rock entered and was there every week. That is a real megastar. The Rock honestly might be the last real megastar. I guess Cena as well. But I'm talking like megastar in the Rock caliber, Austin caliber, Hogan caliber. Roman's not quite there, but I've still said many a time, even though there are others I prefer in his company, I do still consider Roman to be the face of the company. When everyone's there at the peak as well, I think Roman is the guy. They've gone back to that. If he is there regularly with the Bloodline resurrection, I mean, we may get tired of it again. It's been done before. It is a bit of a rehash. It feels like WWE in the last week has just simply gone back to 2024. They've just gone back to it. Because that was a lot of the year everyone was fucking ass kissing, saying, oh, it's great. It's the Renaissance. Best thing since the Attitude Era. No, Ruthless Discretion was still better in parts. But you have Cody as champ, Roman as champ, Liv as champ, Rhea as champ. How much more 2024 can you get? And the Bloodline about. It's going to happen at Backlash. They wouldn't have said it if it's not going to. And obviously, Roman said to Fatu, have a week to think about it. It's shaking Fatu. He ain't going to back down. He's going to double down. He's going to take him on. This just gives vibes of the whole original formation of the Bloodline. And for so long, there were more than three of them. Is Fatu going to end up taking up the Solo Sikoa role here? When Fatu loses, because he's for sure losing, is he going to acknowledge Roman and join up with the Bloodline and officially move to Raw? I mean, I don't hate it. I don't know if I love it yet. I don't know. Fatu's kind of the wild werewolf who does his own thing. He attacks his own family. He can give a fuck. You could just build him up as a huge face by having Roman beat him and Jay and Jimmy join in and stamp on him and that. Maybe this is a way of trying to solidify them as heels again, Bloodline. Because still officially, Roman and they're all officially still facing. But a good way to do it and set up both of them, both groups here, Fatu as the face, Roman, Jay, and Jimmy, the Bloodline as the heels, is have Fatu put up a great effort, lose to Roman. I would have them lose clean. I wouldn't have Jay and Jimmy fuck around it. You've got to keep building Roman up as the Giga threat. I would have them lose clean, but then have them not lay down. Maybe even run this story further over another month throughout all of May. You could do it, and then have the match, another match in future. Maybe I don't know. But I would have them not yield. Say, listen, yeah, you won, but I'm not going to acknowledge it. I'm not boss, so I'm not taking orders from anyone. And then Jay and Jimmy kind of beat on him. They tried and beat him into submission. They just never successfully do it. Jacob in the end, in the end, the story kind of pulls apart a bit. But then you could have them go back, clash heads again in future. Jacob would have to stay on Raw, that was the case. But maybe it's just on Raw now. This is the shuffle time of the year. Are we going to see someone who wasn't on Raw tonight appear on SmackDown? Maybe Bayley and Lara do appear on SmackDown. I would love that. They need to be there. It's better for them. Jacob, were there still people? I guess we're never going to get a definitive answer, though, as to who actually did kick his teeth off. I was thinking Randy was winning the championship at Mania, which obviously didn't happen. And Jacob would be his first. I was thinking Randy would punt Cody, and then he would disappear for a while. And Jacob would be his opponent in the meantime because he finds out that Randy was the one who actually kicked him, knocked his teeth out. I guess it was just true. After all, he always denied it. How much longer are they going to delay this story? If fucking hell, he would have to be back on SmackDown for that to work. So I don't know, man. It could just be a tide over story. Maybe he just goes there, takes on Roman, loses, then goes back to SmackDown. I don't know though. This could be the beginnings of seeing the fourth member of the Bloodline. I'd be surprised. I'd still do it my way, but I'd keep Jacob on Raw. But I don't know as well, is Raw too stacked? They've just gained Ethan Page. They're gaining Joe Hendry. Now they've got Fatu, possibly. Who else is SmackDown getting out? You can't strip NXT that much. Fucking hell. I'm more convinced now, actually, if Fatu does end up on Raw, that we're going to see Ricky starts Saints on SmackDown Friday. How he's joining. As who else? On the men's side, you could fill, I don't know, the SmackDown. Maybe we see someone unexpected return or someone new sign. Bruce Keys was in the crowd today. So was Trick Willie. So were the Paige and the Bellas. Showed various people there. But Bruce Keys, obviously, to be fair, they brought him back in now in the fold. He won the Andre the Giant Battle Royale. They can make something of him. I could see him being like a first challenger for Trick Williams, which would be great. I'm seated for that one. Mello, maybe they bring him off the card. Ilya's still there. Sammy. SmackDown's not short on talent. WWE's just so stacked in general. But when you look at Raw, the main event scene, you have Rollins, you have Breaker, you have Obafemi, you have Punk, you have Roman, you have Fatu as well now. That's crazy, man. I guess the other guys were okay. Oh, Gunther as well. LA Knight announced his intention for the World Championship. I don't think he's ever going to win it. Poor bastard. I've lost faith in WWE doing the right thing to put the World Championship on him at least one time. Same with Sami Zayn. Finn Balor's going on a solo run. Who's to say when he's done, he doesn't go after the World Championship? A lot of people assuming, myself included, to be fair, tonight. Oh, we'll go for the IC or something. But the whole point of Punk, giving him the opportunities, and Punk was right. Balor is that level, man. When trusted to it, he's fucking great. This was a really, really good show because it really did leave me excited for what's to come. The whole idea, the whole concept of Night After Mania is okay. However shit the last year might have been, this is a new start. We're doing a shuffle. We're calling people up from NXT. They're going to do releases soon. They'll get rid of the dead weight they don't want, some people don't have plans for. There's always some people amongst every annual release where I look at it and I'm fucking baffled as to why they released them. Last year was Braun Strowman and Dakota Kai. Dakota was injured a lot, to be fair, but it's a shame, man. I thought she was world champion material if they did handle the better. Braun, I thought was great. I can't believe they got rid of him. But I guess he's happy enough. He has his food program now. I need that program back because it'll make SmackDown go to fucking 2 hours again, not free. We can have 2 hours of SmackDown to suffer through, and then I can watch Braun could go do eating challenges for an hour. Fine. I'd rather that happen. But ironically, he's not even in the company. He got released. But Braun, you need to save SmackDown, motherfucker. When is season 2 of your show? It is exciting times, though. I was really, really happy with the product. I'm Fatu vs Roman is so intriguing. Punk and Cody teasing something soon. Will Punk go to SmackDown? Actually, it could be something. We see. If Fatu's going to Raw, Ober's there ready to step in. You still got Gunther and all these people I mentioned. Maybe it's the time. If Punk were to go to SmackDown, so would AJ Lee. Whenever she's there, that would be a wise move as well. To be fair, it'd be a shame. AJ. There's a lot of women on Raw. AJ's not wrestled yet. Maybe if they did something like this, it's not immediate. Are they just instead building up for Punk to win King of the Ring, maybe, and take on Cody at SummerSlam? If that's the case, he would have to dethrone him. Unless Randy's already won it by then. I could see that definitely happening as well. I think Randy will win the 15th at something this year. Or, in the next year up to Mania. There's a lot of questions came out tonight, and it's good. It makes me want to watch Friday night SmackDown, see who else is getting called up, what happens there. Is Punk going to turn up? Are they going to keep up with this story? I got the sense more it's a foreshadowing of maybe next year's Mania. But now I've put that idea out there in my in my conscience. I like it. Punk wins King of the Ring. Or Punk just straight up goes to SmackDown on Friday. And I was like, well, yeah, about that title, man. I guess there's still Cody and Randy stuff to do, though. You don't want to rush up. Punk King of the Ring. They haven't even officially announced King and Queen of the Ring yet. But I'm sure it's going to happen. That'll be like June time, something. It should be its own PLA. It should fill the slot. The fucking Money in the Bank is left now by going to after SummerSlam, which was like the first week of June. The Punk wins that, takes on Cody. Mm. If that became apparent as well, I would have AJ Lee just go on a spree. Have her there for like 5, 6 weeks on Raw and just taking on every woman you'd want us to take on, but she's not yet. She could challenge Liv for the championship. Not win it, but challenge it. Have her wrestle Roxanne. Have her wrestle Salt Ruca. Just come on. What a learning curve that'll be for Salt. Let me know how you guys thought. I bet this was a really, really good show. I genuinely, yeah, I think I did enjoy it more than Night 2 of Mania because it's the start of a new season. It felt fresh. It felt exactly what it needed to be. That, okay, reset time. It's always reset time now. Start of a new year. Let's put pieces in place. You have Gunther and LA Knight possible. Great. Rollins and Breakers just started. Great. The Profits are back. Great. Page in the IC Championship sign. You'll see. Fuck yeah. Rusev appearing. I think Rusev's fucking underrated. I think he's a veteran. It's kind of wild to say this, but I think he's done great to game back. Whenever they've actually used him, he's believable as fuck. He looked a badass. He's in the best shape of his life. And he's great. I saw criticism of him on IWC before. It's fucking set fit of a place. That's why I'm actually saying this now. A lot of good parts here. The only thing I didn't really like was Io and Asuka story kind of being benched a little for, oh, we have to give Rhea a Raw farewell. She's Triple H's favourite, of course. I'm be sitting for NXT tomorrow. Tatum versus Blake in a casket. I believe she's doing a casket. If it's Tatum's character, it's so funny though. Seeing Blake in a casket match. It's just a contrast. That should be good. Sol and Zarya as well. It's gonna be good. I think it's Hendry versus Tony D. Oh, was that last week? I don't remember. Yeah, I'm ready. Shallow Hills. Who's the team? He's going after a Triple A championship. Campion. I'll be here. I don't typically do reviews for NXT. Probably do a recap on Friday for SmackDown. Um, but typically in future, I'll probably still be going back to just recapping the shows every week as they come. But this show just felt notable enough tonight. That's what I said. Like, it's never like locked in place. If I watch a show and think it's worthy of a review right there, I'm ready to talk about it right now. I'll do it. And this show felt like this. This is the best Raw in months. Best Raw or SmackDown all year, for sure. This was really, really good. I'm really excited to see where they go from now. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of the show. I'm going to give it a 8.5 out of 10.